The world is changing. The days of American, Japanese, and European manufacturers dominating the car market will soon come to an end, as Chinese manufacturers catch up and in some cases even excel. One company such as BYD's Yang Wang soon hopes to deliver their first electric supercar to customers, the U9. The Yang Wang U9 was featured on this channel before because this car can both jump and drive on 3 wheels. But what really makes this car special is the insane price. Converted, it is only $137,000 US, and it has 1,069 horsepower and goes from 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. I mean, if it came to America, I honestly think that it wouldn't have too hard of a time taking over, because American, Japanese, and European cars are just getting more and more expensive. But now, just like anything that comes out of China, we are going to have to wait to see just how good these cars actually are. And you know whether or not the fact that it can drive on 3 wheels comes in handy. And it's not like whether or not this car can just hold up. It's also stuff like safety. Would you trust Chinese bureaucracy in an accident? I mean, a lot of stuff does come out of China, but this is without any oversight. I mean, just looking at the brakes during the track test, and to be fair, it could be a torture test, but I don't know. I like it, but I'm hesitant on it. For our next story, Aston Martin has recently just gone insane, and I think it's because no one's been talking about it. At least not in the mainstream car world that I live in. But to get people talking about them more, they have now decided to enter into every single form of WEC and IMSA racing, as well as the 2025 F1 season. They will enter the WEC and IMSA with both the Aston Martin Valkyrie and the Vantage GT3 and GT4 homologations. They will be competing in partnership with Hearts of Racing, a charity that raises money for the Seattle Children's Cardiology Research Fund, among other causes. HOR has already brought Aston Martin Racing its first GTD title in 2022, as well as 7th at Le Mans. And recently, along with the unveiling of the new Vantage and new Vantage GT3 cars, we can see how alluring the twin-turbo 4-liter V8 is. But will it be able to live up to its successor's 52 class wins, including a debut win at Le Mans? Well, one thing is for sure, that it will definitely have the chance to prove itself, as it will compete in the FIA World Endurance Championship, the IMSA World WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, the Fantech GT World Challenge, the European Le Mans Series, and the Nuremberg Langstrecken Series. Built to comply with all the FIA GT3 class regulations, including the new for 2024 LM GT3, the new car has finished testing, including a grueling 30-hour test. One issue with the old car was that it would dive a lot during braking. So to counteract this pitch, the rear steering setup was changed, but this made it shaky and quite snappy, and it overworked the tires. The new car, thanks to extensive damper tuning, has been able to find a balance to generate downforce without compromising the suspension setup. And with many drivers, both pro and amateur alike, agreeing that it isn't unnerving to drive. Aerodynamically, the upgrades you can see all over the car, along with new wider front grills to allow for more brake cooling. Aston Martin is trying to cement its place into motorsports world for the coming future, and with over 30 Vantage GT3s racing actively by the end of 2024, I'm sure Aston Martin will be in the mouths of many people in no time. Now for our next story, this channel isn't exactly known for drama, but when shit happens, shit happens. So DeLorean Next Generation Motors is just announced that it's going to make a car alongside the JZD. Now this car will be based off the C8 Corvette and is said to be considerably less expensive than the handmade JZD. But now for the drama. DeLorean Next Generation Motors is not to be confused with DeLorean Motors, which is its own separate company which has the Alpha 5, which was the DeLorean in Fast and Furious. This one is different because this one was started by the daughter of the original John Z. DeLorean, but the other DeLorean company is the same company that made the first DeLorean. So now we have 2 DeLorean companies and 3 DeLorean cars. Now, I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure remembering that the DeLorean was a scam and John Z. DeLorean was a scam artist. I could be wrong, but in my humble opinion, I think DNG, DeLorean Next Generation Motors, will probably not go anywhere. Meanwhile, the other one has kind of made a car and have already sort of promoted it. But I mean, I also think they will crash and burn, but only time will tell. I mean, Lucid made a comeback, so anything's possible. So for our next story, Ferrari has recently decided to announce that it's going to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment for its cars. Now this isn't completely out of the ordinary. I mean, a lot of companies are doing this, and it is the future, more or less. I mean, we will see. But my issue is that Ferrari sales chief Enrico Galleria says that the reason they did this is that it will help them connect to people who are not necessarily our clients, but might afford a Ferrari. Criminals. Like, there's no other way of saying it. He's implying that they want to sell cars to people that they don't want to be associated with, but they want their money. Criminals. I mean, I guess according to Ferrari, you can't debadge their cars, but scamming, exploiting, trafficking, that's fine. I mean, does Ferrari live like in a bubble? I mean, they did just sign frickin' Lewis Hamilton, so. For our final story today, Tom Walkinshaw Racing was a big name in the 80s and 90s in England as a motorsports engineering team, and had helped to create the XJ220 and the XJR-9LM, which won Le Mans in 1988. Fortunately, they went bust in the early 2000s, but have now been revived. The son of Tom Walkinshaw, Fergus, is at the head of a new project, and here it is. That is literally all that has been released. Now, I am very interested to see what this car will be and where it will race, because Jaguar has forsaken himself by going electric, and this doesn't look like a Formula E car. So I'm excited because, well, I just like TWR because of their Jaguar connection, but it's kind of gone to shit, so we'll see what happens. But that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you liked. Please subscribe, share, comment, and peace.